welcome to episode 11 of This Week at ECT. I'm your host, Robbie Go Shots, also known as ECT DaBandit. You might have two questions. Number one, what's with the big expensive studio? Well, we're going to make a change. We're moving out of Studio C, and once I find the right corner of the basement, we're going to call that Studio D. Yeah, for why are you down there, dummy? But anyways, long story short, other question, why am I decked out in black and gold? Got the shocker hat on. Why? Because it's Missouri Valley tournament time this week, folks. That's right, the Shockers got to take the tournament to get themselves into the College World Series play. First time since 1978 that the Missouri Valley tournament has even meant anything. Okay, enough about the fun stuff, enough about baseball. Let's get to what we're going to do this week on ECT. We're going to do something in our special segment. We're going to take a look at last week's first annual BSR Fun Run. Going to take a look at the racing ahead, of course, let you know about your results. And finally, in what I'm changing the segment to be called as Let's Make a Fantasy, I'm going to tell you my picks so you can take those picks off your fantasy team and you'll do better in the fantasy points this week at the Coke 600. We're going to have that and a lot more merriment after this message.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Double, East, Coast, Thunder, Dark, Calm.
Turn on, I'll see red. Adrenaline crash, crack my head. Natural sugar, paint me dead.
Welcome back to this episode of This Week at ECT. I'm your host, DaBandit. And before we go ahead and talk about the first annual BSR All-Star Race, I want to give you a couple quick things. Number one, if you guys got some good recs for the OMG section, if there's some news or something you want to tell us about things you got going on, maybe it's a little something special, maybe it's a charity thing, maybe it's your real life racing or something like that, hey, slip me an email, okay? My email, I got a dedicated email just for the show now. It is twaeo9@yahoo.com. See? Right there. Actually, it should go that way. But anyways, you see the email address. Send your things to me. Send some clips, like I said, your good crashes. If we got some good racing coming on, you know, some good finishes, I want to see them. Maybe we'll start something on a great finish. I don't know. I just want to take this anywhere you guys want to go, which is where, like I said, give me your ideas. We'll see what we can do with them. I'm going to have a lot of time during the day, unfortunately, so might even think about for those of you that don't get to race much at night or those of you maybe stay-at-home parents or whatever, also email me because if I can get about 10 or 12 of us together, I'm going to talk maybe with Pete and Spider about some kind of first shift thing. I don't know, we can rotate mods. We'll just have some fun with it because, I mean, I'm going to tell you, I've been online racing for about 3 years and it's going to be basically quitting cold turkey, and that really bites. Okay, other news. This week, actually coming up here in the next week, it's going to be coming up in the shows, we're going to have the first ever ECT SK mod race on RLM TV. It's part of a 2-race series. First one is coming up next Wednesday. It'll be at RLM TV. Going to be in the late model SKs. Going to be at Bristol. This is part of that north-south combo, the competition, shootout, call it what you want. But this is race 1, and then like a week and a half later on Sunday, they're going to be at Martinsville for race 2. We're going to have a special shootout champion and everything. Pete and the guys are really putting together a great race. Tell you what, it's so much fun. I'm actually taking a half a day off on Wednesday because I don't want to miss either race. So I'll be there in the number 54 Clipham Lawn Service Executive Services Ford Troyer. You guys get your SKs in. There's going to be 20 of us out there. If you can't race, if you're not racing, hey, get on RLM TV, watch it. It's by watching it we have fun. Okay, that's enough of the news. I've rambled on, man. I feel like Led Zeppelin because it's time to quit rambling on. Anyways, now we're going to go ahead and talk about the first annual BSR All-Star Race. Happened last Thursday. Let's go to our roving reporter, Bob James, at the scene. Thank you, Bandit. This is Bob James. BSR All-Star Race Update. 29 cars entered the open, with the winner being ECT Jim, the first of 14 to transfer into the main race. After a short intermission, there was 20 cars, 14 from the race-in, and 6 that had already secured their spot in the winning races or being an Ironman and running all of the races in the series. What's that, Bandit? What? Bob, Bandit. Didn't you go to the race? Oh! No! I just watched that TV like a friend. This is one live from Rose. So here I am. I'm in Rose. Here's my report. Alright, well then back to the footage. We gotta get a bigger production budget. Oh well, to the clips. ECT Mil Matisse leads them down to the green flag. As the green flag falls, going into lap 1 already, our first caution, the first of 12. It's an all-star race, so that means you've got all-star drivers, but that doesn't mean there isn't going to be cautions. Luckily, the green flag laps or the yellow flag laps count here at the BSR All-Star race, as we had 11 other cautions during the race here. We were at Lowe's Motor Speedway. This is the first annual BSR All-Star race. We had 20 drivers, 14 came from the race-in, 6 in the lead-in, and as you see, a lot of the cautions here, self-spins, little bump and runs. Most of it can be attributed to the fact of the old adage, if you're not first, you're last. Lap 76, BSR Pockets leads BSR DJ Champ and ECT Chris to the green flag. The green flag drops. They hit the hammer and they start heading down into turn 1 and 2 as we pick up action here on the backstretch. As we pick up the action here on the backstretch, you can see Pockets pulling the 0.5 of ECT Chris as he was able to get around DJ Champ. As they go into turn 3 though, into the corner the leaders go. Chris gets into the wall and comes down and gets into it with DJ Champ, and a melee ensues that gets everybody, including the leader BSR Pockets, but they get it righted, and in the race back to the checkered flag, or excuse me, the yellow flag, BSR Pockets is able to maintain his lead. With a congratulatory bump from ECT Chris, BSR Pockets follows the pace car across the checkered flag stand for the victory. Thanks, Bob, for that insightful report on the first annual BSR All-Star race. I'll tell you what, it was fun. I did have to race my way in, used a little strategy to make it into that top 14 to transfer. Okay, now, when we come back, we're going to have a look at last week's results here on This Week at ECT. But before that, let's take a look what's coming up racing at ECT, BSR, and FND. Maestro, take it away.